Hello everyone. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk about some of the aspects in Meteor.js. Special thanks to Jan, Kevin, and Jessa for letting me speak in this Meteor Impact. It is a very great honor to be part of Meteor Impact. So here I'll be talking about amplifying your app engagement via push notifications. I'm sure many of you know about this technique, and I'll be just shedding some light on that in the latest Meteor version with OneSignal's SDK. All right. So let me just start my presentation from here. So first of all, let me just introduce myself. My name is Partha Roy. I'm a lead product engineer in Volcas Technologies. So I am basically responsible for one of the most prominent agri-tech startups in India that is called Fussel. So which is a part or product of Volcas Technology. So I basically, me and my team are responsible for managing that application as well as all the aspects in the application. Now, these are some of my contacts which you can reach out if you need any help from my side. And about myself, I have been in this industry for more than 8 years. I have worked with Meteor.js for last 3 or 4 years, and it has been wonderful journey with Meteor.js. Also, we have participated in Meteor Hackathon this year, and we are the title, like we won the title. With that thought, let's start with our presentation. So first thing is, let us reiterate what push notifications are. Basically, all of us knows what push notifications are, but still, let me just briefly give you an idea who might not know or who knows but do not know about much, right? So push notifications are basically engagement tool or a technique by which what we do is basically we send messages in an app through to interact with users more lively, basically. So most of the time, if you are using any e-commerce app or any other kind of any other social media app, you might have seen, like, if someone reacts to your posts, or if, say for example, there is a very big deal going on, or sales are going on, then you will receive some kind of notifications in your mobile for that apps that you have installed, right? Those things are called push notifications, and these things were started in 2009 by Apple, and at that time it was called Apple's push notification system. Then slowly, gradually, Android also adopted that, and now web also works on push notification. So push notification plays a very huge role in any app or any website, or any kind of platforms like growth, right? So we'll be learning about how we can implement those push notifications in our application, basically in our Meteor application. So before that, we'll be just quickly go over, like, what are the values that push notifications adds to your app. So first thing is, it targets the right customers or the users. So let me just give you an example about that. So say for example, you have some user base in your application. Now in that application, the user base might have different interests, or different user interests are present. Now the thing is, with the same kind of content or with the same kind of notifications, you cannot uh, uh, cater to the all users, right? So that's why what you have to do is you have to target different users with different marketing strategies. Some users might react to push notifications, some users might not react to in-app messaging. So that's why you know by push notifications you have full control over which user is of which interest, so you can target that particular user itself. Then you can increase user retention. So there is a very popular belief or phenomena that we have seen in modern times, right? That app installs are very big in certain apps. The number of installs is very big, but the thing is, number of users they are retaining is very less, because after a point of time, the users basically leave the app, or they do not use the app. That app basically sits idle in the user's smartphone. So that's why, to retain those users, or getting those users back to app, we need to send them push notifications, so that they again they falls like they again opens the app and gets retained in there. So basically, one very interesting aspect about push notification is like the user doesn't have to open the app, it just needs to be installed in their mobile. Now the thing is, even if that app is not opened in background, still user will receive some push notification. So that's why push notification can actually interact with the user even though the user has not opened the app for like 30 days or months, right? So that is a very useful technique to retain users. Third thing is boost conversion rates. So basically, say for example, you are running some sales campaigns, or you are running some advertising for your application, right? So at that time, to convert users into leads and to make that into a purchase funnel, right? So those things can be boosted by push notifications, because it adds another marketing level, right, to your application. Then fourth thing is increasing app engagement. So whenever user interacts with any element in the app or any other user in the app, say for example, let's take an example of Instagram. You post an photo in Instagram and someone likes or comments on your photo, then you get a notification of that, and now you tend to click on that notification to know what is happening inside that. So that increases the app engagement of an user. Similarly, there is audience segmentation as well. So, say for example, you are scrolling through Instagram or any other app, and you are basically interested in posts of kittens or dogs, all those things. So, by that, our app will know, right, what is your interest base. So, according to the interest base, that it will segment you into audiences, like this particular audience is into cats and kittens, this particular segment of audience is into dogs and animals. So by the segmentation, the content can be catered to those users, and by that the user basically user retention can boost basically. So after that, there is a very interesting thing, that it's a cross platform thing. So basically, you have a Android app or iOS app or web app or Windows app, say for example. So all those platforms support push notification, so you can reach out to the user at any platform basically via push notification. Then another thing is, it is very easy to use, because it's very common phenomena among every user that is accustomed with smartphone. So that's why the users know already, like how push notifications work, or how to interact with them, like how to click on them, or if there is some action buttons, how to basically get into the app by clicking the push notification. So it is very easy to use, and the user journey is already defined, and most of the users already know or aware about this. Then personalized interaction. So you basically can design the push notification in your way. So it has some basic elements in it, like the title, description, and image can be there, or some action buttons. But that design and all, you can customize according to your needs. So it will add some more personalized version of your application, so which can become a brand identity app as well. So now I'll just briefly give you little history. So as I have already told you, like I have been working with Meteor for last 3 or 4 years, right? So previously I used to use in our team, we used to use Rikes push. So there's a package called Rikes. So one of our engineers named Shivang, he has forked one version of Rikes, and he has updated that plugin to support basically the push notifications in latest Meteor apps, right? But the thing is, there were some gaps in that. Basically, Meteor has updated so much, and FCM, that means, so for push notifications also we need Google's Firebase, this one credentials and all. So those things updated, but this package was not updated. So basically, still it is running the forked version by Sivang, that is running, but still. we needed to have something more stable. So that's why now I did R&D and I got into this OneSignal SDK. So with OneSignal I have already worked in web, and in web the experience was amazing. So that's why I chanced upon that when I was searching for a good package for Meteor as well. Now I have seen they have their Cordova plugin for Cordova apps. So that particular plugin only I have used for our Meteor app that we will be using in this implementation. All right, and also OneSignal has tremendous amount of good support and amazing features. So that is also another part like I really liked, and their package is also very well managed. Like just 10 days back only they have released another version of that package, and it is very well managed. So that's why I will be using that one only. Now so we'll be quickly going into the implementation part of this. So in this implementation part I'll be sharing my screen and doing the coding and show you how exactly can you install the OneSignal SDK in your Meteor app and get your app set up with push notifications enabled, and how can you receive push notifications in your app, then work with the payload that is coming with the push notification, as well as how can you send custom push, and how can you basically bind the user context in the subscriber base in the OneSignal. So these things all will be doing in the next part of this video. And so that's it, let's get into the implementation. So in this video, we'll be looking at how we can integrate between Meteor and OneSignal's push notification system so that we can seamlessly send push notifications just like a native application to our Meteor application, right? And in that push notification, we can also integrate the deep linking functionality so that when someone clicks on those notifications, they can get into the application, and inside the application, we can write our own code so that we can manage the routing mechanism as well. So I'll be just firstly setting up the OneSignal account and the push notification credentials. So in order to do that, what I need to do is firstly I need to have a Meteor project, which I already have in here. So I already have a Meteor project in here. Now I need to implement the push notification capability in this project. So in order to do that, I'll just first go to OneSignal website. So I'll just go here. Now inside here, if you do not have an account, then you need to sign up, but I already have an account, so I'll just log in. So I'm logged in via Google account, so I'll just log in via that. Okay, so we are at the dashboard of OneSignal. Now as you can see, I already have two apps in here. Now what I need to do is, as this app is a new app, so I need to create a new configuration for that app. So in order to do that, I will just click on this particular button. So in this button, what I need to do is I have to give the name of our app. This name can be anything. So I'll just give it like a push integration app. Okay. And so in this video, we'll be seeing how we can integrate Meteor app with push notification in Google Android only, Android operating system. So I'll be choosing this particular option, and then I'll click on next. Now in here, as you go forward, right, so you'll be seeing when we need to do an Android specific configuration, right, we need to have a Google FCM credentials basically. So what we need to do is we need to generate those credentials. So to do that, we need to first click on this particular link, or we can directly go to our Firebase console. So I'll just click on this link, and as you see, this has opened my Firebase dashboard. So in here, I need to add a new project. So say for example, I add this project like Meteor push integration. Okay, so after selecting that, I'll just say continue, and here let it be whatever it is, and I'll just say continue. Now here also I need to choose my name, and I'll just create the project. So as this is a new project that we are building in the Meteor app, so it is better to keep a new project instance for OneSignal as well as here. So what will happen is basically OneSignal will use the Firebase credentials to send the cloud messaging, that is the push notifications in here, and so it is just building up the project. Now the project is ready, so we'll just click on continue. So as you click on continue, you'll be coming in this project dashboard. Okay, so from here what we need to do is we have to click on this particular button. Just below this Firebase logo we have project overview, which we are right now in, and just beside that we have to click on the settings button. So inside settings button we have to go to project settings. So we come to this page, project settings page. Inside this page what we need to do is we have to go to this tab, cloud messaging tab. Okay, so after going there, so it is loaded now. So after loading, you see there are two options, basically Firebase Cloud Messaging API and Firebase Cloud Messaging API Legacy. So we need to first enable it because OneSignal runs on this particular thing. So we'll be just enabling it by clicking on this, and we'll go to Google Cloud Console. And we'll just click on enable. Let's just wait for some seconds. It will be done then. So it is enabled. As you see, this has come to this page. Now we'll just close this page as we do not require this page. Now we'll go to this particular page only, and we'll just reload this page. So as we have reloaded this page, as you can see, this particular configuration is right now enabled, and we can see the server key as well as the sender ID in here. So what we can do is we can just copy this thing. Click on copy, and we'll go to here, Firebase server key. So I'll just paste it here. Okay. Similarly, I'll just copy this sender ID and paste it in the Firebase sender ID. Alright, now I'll just click on save and continue. Now as you can see, it will say like which SDK you are targeting for. Right now Meteor we are targeting, so that means it's a Cordova application basically, because we will be using the Cordova plugin for the Meteor project. So I'll just select Cordova and save and continue. That's it, it is done basically. Okay, so the setup is done. Now what we need to do is we have to click on this button. So it will go to this particular page. Now from here we have to go to this tab, keys and IDs tab. Okay, so here two things will be there. One is our app ID and another one is our REST API key ID. So this app ID will be used for registering our app whenever it initializes for that particular app that is there in OneSignal, so that the app can receive any kind of push notification that is coming for this particular ID. Okay, so we need this one for sure, and if we intend to do any push notification sending via API, right, so then we will be needing this particular API key. We need the both of the things because we are going to do push notification implementation as well as how can we send custom push notification. Now I have created a very simple Meteor application using the React tech stack. Just I have created by using Meteor create that one, and that particular app is here just for this particular purpose, that we will be integrating push notifications through OneSignal's own SDK. So this app is a barebone app where we have just imports whatever comes with the Meteor create app. Okay, all right. So in this app what I have done is I have just added some Android specific icon and screens, and that's all, nothing else I have added. Now in that app I need to implement the push notification plugin, right? So in order to do that, what I have to do is, already we have implemented, we have done our things in OneSignal, and this keys and IDs we already have in here, right? So now what we'll do is, we'll basically install this Cordova SDK in our app, so that we can use that SDK to basically connect with the OneSignal's APIs. All right. So to do that, what I'll do is, just I'll go to the terminal of that app, and I'll just clear that, and I'll do a command. So that is meteor add Cordova colon OneSignal dash Cordova dash plugin at the rate 3.1.1. So the thing is here, Meteor add Cordova colon, this particular command is used for using, like, installing a new Cordova plugin in Meteor app, and the plugin that we intend to use here is OneSignal Cordova plugin, and the version of that plugin that we are using right now is 3.1.1. okay, I'll be just quickly clicking on enter. Now let's see what happens. So it is grabbing that plugin, and from that plugin repository, and it has added that plugin. Now what we need to do is, now we have to basically use that plugin in our app. So in order to do that, so plugin is already installed, what we need to do is just write some code for that plugin. So where we have to write is, so whenever the app initializes, we need to make sure that the plugin knows that our app is initialized with this particular OneSignal app ID, right? So to do that, that plugin basically has a API, which will, that means just a method basically for now. So that method we will be calling to set the app ID in here. So in order to do that, we'll just click on enter in here. So right now it is a Meteor React project, that's why you see main.jsx is there, but it doesn't matter, you can use any kind of tech stack in here. So just that you need to keep this code inside Meteor startup, that's all. All right, so I'll be just giving so this integration is for only mobile smartphones, right? It will not be applicable for web. So that's why I'll be just quickly giving a check. So Meteor is Cordova. So if it is happening inside a Cordova instance, that is inside a mobile or smartphone, then only it will be running. So inside that, what we have to do is, so we'll be just keeping, just for time being, we'll keep a simple alert like opened in mobile. I'll be just keeping this thing, and then what we'll do is, we'll be using that plugins methods. So that plugin will be accessible to us inside window.plugins dot OneSignal dot so this particular thing is available to us as we have installed the plugin. And if you want to, just quickly I'll show you, if you want to see whether plugin is installed or not, you can go to this .meteor folder and go to this cordova.plugins. So inside you see Cordova plugin for that OneSignal is installed with the version that we have provided. So now we have the plugin. So by using this, we can access the plugin. Now we have to call, the first method is set app ID. So this method we have to call at the beginning, and in that one we need to pass the app ID that we have generated in here. So I'll be just quickly copying this and I'll put that here. So by doing that, what we'll do is, so basically it will say that this particular app that we have is in OneSignal's application, it is using this particular application. So this particular mobile app is using OneSignal's this particular app. So that's how it is getting connected with OneSignal. Now along with that, what you have to do is, we have to also prompt the user for notification usage. So for that also you have to, so basically you have to get the permission. So by default in Android it is a by default it is checked always, like you will always get the permission, so there will not be any modal or system specific dialog box that will open up for allowing the notification, push notifications for now, for Android applications, native applications basically. So basically it will happen in background, but still we have to ask that permission. So to do that we have to again access the plugins SDK. So we have to write OneSignal window.plugin.plugins it will be. So window.plugins.OneSignal we have wrote, and after that we have to call a method that is there, prompt for push notifications with user response. Alright, so this method is the name of the method is bit big, so you need to be very careful about writing this one. So this is prompt for push notifications with user response. Alright, so in this method what you have to do is we have to pass a simple function. So this method when you call it, so what it will do is basically it will prompt for push notifications, like allowing for push notifications, and then when the user have allowed it, then it will return us, it will call this particular function with a argument. The first argument is like accepted, which is a boolean value. So this will be the argument that whether the user has accepted or not accepted. So we'll just keep a alert here, like user has accepted notifications, push notifications to be clear about it, and I'll just print this accepted here. Alright, so what it will do is basically first thing is it will set the app ID so that this app is connected with the OneSignal's app that we have created, and second thing is we are calling this method prompt for push notifications with user response so that it prompts the user for allowing push notifications on their mobile with that application. Now in Android, till Android 12 as of now, the push notifications get by default activated only. So this will not fire any kind of system dialog box or alert or anything. Rather, by default in background only you will get the permission, and as you get the permission it should call this function with this accepted parameter being a boolean value that is true, because it is getting set. Now this particular thing, so these two things we cannot call them directly. Okay, so this thing should happen first, but we cannot call them directly. So what we have to do is we have to wait for device ready. So we have to wrap these two things inside of method which will be called when our device is ready, right? So that's why I'll be quickly wrapping these two inside a function initialize OneSignal push SDK. Okay, and I have created that, and I'll just quickly cut it and put this inside this. All right, so we have this method right now. On calling this method it will basically set the app ID and prompt. Now when we have to call this method, that method should be called when the device is ready. So that's why we'll say document dot add event listener, and inside that we have to write a event handler that is device ready, and we have to give this method's name. So whenever this event device ready is fired, this particular method should be called, and false we are passing here, So the reason behind calling this function on device ready rather than directly calling this is because when the device is ready, then only we'll have the access to window object as well as the window plugins object properly. Otherwise, what will happen is we might not have access to window or window.plugins. That's why we do it inside this. So one simple mistake I have done in here is that I would like to point out here. So the plugin is not referred by this, rather this S, OneSignal's S will be in capital. So I have to just make it S capitals, and here also I have to make it as S, big S. So that's all. That's all for setting up our SDK. Now let's check in our mobile. So I have installed my application in this after building that application. So now if we just check that application, so the application name is push test. So here you can see that. So this is the application. Now I'll just quickly click on it and let it launch. So first, as we have stated there, that alert opened in mobile that gives, then I click on OK. Then it says user has accepted the push notifications. That means the push notification prompt has happened and it has been activated. I say yes, and the app starts. So this is a basic app that I have already told you, basic Meteor app that I have created, and that app is only there. And now we have the push notification is also available here. Now quickly what I'll do is I'll just fire a push notification from my desktop only, and we'll see. So as you can see, now in order to check the subscriber in here, so as it has been the user has installed the application and it is subscribed in their mobile. So if I check in last 1 hour, you see in this graph there is a spike and we see one subscriber is there. Now if we want to just send a message in here, so what we'll do is we'll go to messages, and there is no messages in here. So I'll just click on new message, new push, and here in title I'll just put testing push notification, and here in the message I'll put like Lorem Ipsum Citador. That's all, and I'll click on review and send. And when I'm sending, you see audience is app, the app that I have created, estimated recipients is 2. So I have installed it twice, so that's why it has coming like 2, and the title is coming, the platform is Android, so the logo is there, and here start sending, send immediately. So that means right now only it will be sent. So I just click on send message, and the message has been sent, and message is sent, and it is delivered. See, it is there. So that's all the statistics are there. If you see, we have received a simple bell icon in the top section here. So I'll just open that one, and you see testing push notification comes. Now if I click on it, it goes inside the application. So now we know how to send a push notification from here, and that can be received in our app in the smartphone. But so on click of that push notification also we get redirected to the app, and that app opens, but we do not know how to handle that push notification, or what to do with the data of the push notification, or how to handle the data that we are getting from the push notification. To do that, what we need to do is there is a very useful hook that is available with the OneSignal's API, so which tells us when a push notification is clicked, right? So then at that time what we need to do in order to handle the data that is coming from the push notification. So in order to do that, we need to write another callback method in here in the SDK. So window.plugins dot OneSignal dot set notification. So set notification opened handler. So this is the method basically. Set notification opened handler. So this is the hook that gets called every time our notification is clicked and the app opens. So what we can do is we can pass a function in that, and in that function what will be there is the argument will be a JSON data. So that JSON data will be consisting of all the data that is coming from the push notification. Now in that data, so as you have seen the title and the description that we have used in here, right? So if I just quickly duplicate this particular one, so duplicate means that with the same data we can send the new push notification. So we go here, so see the title and the message is there, right? So both of the things will be available in here in the JSON data itself. So by the name of title and body. So if I just write like cons title and body from JSON data, and then when we get it we can just say like we can alert in it in the application saying like the title is title, and again we can alert another time with the description saying description. All right, so this is the thing that we can do. Now let's just fire a push notification and see what happens in our app. All right, so I'll just quickly go over here. We have given this particular title and this message. Now we go here. I'll just clean those things. So apart from just to give you an idea, like apart from this title and message, we can specify image also, the image that will be visible in the push notification. Though this image is just for a presentation skill, but another important thing that separates from that is separate from title and the message is the launch URL. If it is for a web application, then we'll ignore this one also, but for our app there is a very important data that is there, additional data. So apart from title and message, we can add some additional data like which route to redirect to, or which particular data that user needs to consume, all those things. So we'll be just giving additional data like the route is, say for example home, and say for example the name, so name is my name. All right, so that's it. So this is the additional data. So this title and message will be viewed here in the push notification itself, and when you click on it, it will go inside. Then you will have access to title, message, all the things, but additional data if we want to send along with that, we have to pass it here. And similarly this data can be accessed in the code by using another thing. So here by mistake I have written description. I'll just quickly change it to body. And also here for additional data, we need to additional or custom data that we send over here there, right? So that one we need to pass additional data. That's all, additional data. So this is a object, this is a JSON that we'll get. So I'll put this one also inside here, additional data. All right. Also, so another mistake I have done is this JSON data will consist of different things, and this title, body and additional data will be there inside JSON data dot notification. All right, so this is another thing. So I think in this code there are two small mistakes that are there, which I will quickly fix. So first of all, here a small spelling mistake is there, which I will make it as plugins. And second thing is, see, this additional data that I'm destructuring from this JSON data to notification, right? This one is a not a string or anything, but a object or a JSON object. So we need to make it as a string, then only it will be visible in the alert dialog box. So what I'll do is basically I'll wrap it inside a json.stringify method. So inside json.stringify, I'll just quickly pass this one. So now it will work fine. So I'll just save it. We'll fire a push notification from here saying the same thing, testing push notification, same thing, and two things, route and name. I'll just change the title a bit, test data. Alright, so we'll go. So two additional data we have added, and after that we'll just immediately send it here. So that's all, the message has been sent. In my mobile, I'm checking for the notification to arrive. So in that notification we have also sent some custom data, right? So just wait for 1 second. So see, the notification has come up, so we can see the bell icon in here in the top bar, and here I see the testing push notification push. So I click on that, and first the app's own alert box comes, then the acceptance one comes, and then the alert of the title of the push notification we can read here, then the description of the push notification, and if I click on OK, then we see the additional data that we have sent with the push notification, that is route and name. So by this manner we can be able to access all the data that is sent in push notification with the additional data as well. So now we'll be learning about how we can send a push notification from our mobile itself by using the custom REST API that OneSignal has provided. So earlier what we were trying to do is we were trying to send the push notification from the OneSignal's own GUI itself, from the OneSignal's website. But right now, as in our application also, it will be a very custom experience, so the programs need to send push notifications on their own. So that's why what I have done is, here I have created a very simple form. So here this form I have created in React. In this form what I'm doing is I'm keeping two state values, title and description, which can be filled by the user, and after that on submission. So basically here it's a functional component. I'm using useState for the states, and two states are like title and description. Now on the submission of the form, this particular method is being called. In that method what we are doing is, so if I see here, so first we are doing this prevent default and stop propagation, so that it doesn't go to some different page. After that there comes the notification part. So what we are doing is, first thing is we are creating the payload of the notification. So this is the payload of the notification. So it should, this is the format that has been specified by OneSignal itself in their SDK. So you can find more about that in OneSignal's API documentation. So here I am using the bare minimum, the mandatory ones, mandatory fields that are required to send a notification. So here first thing you have to specify is the app ID. That should be your OneSignal app ID that you are setting up, that you have set up when you have started the application, like that. So the same app ID you need to specify here, so that when you do the API call, OneSignal knows which app to send the push notification to. Second thing is contents. So contents is the basically the body or the description that you'll be sending. So this format is a bit different. It is not directly you can access this description, rather you have to put it inside a localized key. So here en, so English description is there. So OneSignal supports internationalization or tap 18 all those things, so that what you can do is, in any kind of language you can send in number of messages. So for example, the person that is using the mobile or smartphone has the language different Dutch or French language activated, then you can just specify the French uh, French part of this translation of this label basically, so that that person receives a different language. So here I am using an English language in my smartphone, so that's why I am specifying contents inside that English description. Similarly, in the headings also I am putting it in the same direction, like English title, and after that I have put this one included segments, that is all. So included segments, this particular keyword means like to whom this push notification will go. So as you know, there are different segments available in push notification subscribers. So say for example, some of the these are basically categories of push notifications. So say for example, there is something like deals and offers, so which are sent for only deals and offers part. There is something like general push notification, there is something like alarm. So these all are different categories. Now here I don't have any that kind of category, and we can create categories in OneSignal, but right now I don't have such, and I want to send it to all the users that are there. So that's why I have pushed like included segments inside an array. I have put all, and along with that, for additional data that we send, right, that we have seen in the previous example, so we can send additional payload data by using data keyword. So inside data there should be a JSON object. So in that JSON object, whatever you keep, this will be sent with your push notification. All right, so now comes to the header part. So in header you have to keep the application JSON type, and after that in authorization you have to put basic authorization with the OneSignal API key that we have found out in OneSignal. So that is the same thing that we find here basically. So right now it is started not loading, but in the same page basically, in the keys and IDs page only it will come. And okay, so it has loaded. So in the keys and IDs page only, the REST API key, this thing you have to copy and keep it there. All right, so you have to keep it there, and after that you have to call the API with this path basically. So onesignal.com API/v1 notifications. In that you have to call with the headers and the body. So this body is stringified version of this body. Now after that, let's see in our mobile how it looks. So if I show you in the browser, it looks like something like this. So we have this form. So after when I fill up this form and send a push, click on send a push, it should send a push notification. That is the thing. Now let's see in our mobile how it looks like. So here I am opening the application right now. So if I open that up, so I have this. I'll just quickly close it, then we'll see again. So if I go there, and so here push test, I open it. Now here, as you see, the push title and push description comes. I'll just quickly give like title test 1 and description test 1. So after that, I'll just quickly click on send. Let's just wait for some seconds. Okay, so the push notification has arrived. Now I'll quickly click on it. So see, title test 1, description test 1, these two things has come up. Now I'll click on it and see in the alert it is coming like title test 1, then description test 1 it is coming, and the additional data that we have passed through the data keyword, right, that one is also coming. In that I had sent current time and my name. Now the last thing that I want to talk about in here, that is like setting a user context in the OneSignal's app parameter. So the thing is, our app will not be just a public app, right? So sometimes it can be some authenticated app as well, like there are users and users can log in or sign up, all those things. So as we can easily use Meteor accounts plugin or package to create those logins and all. But right now I'll just point out, like, after that, how you can connect your applications OneSignal's SDK with the particular user ID, so that you are able to send push notifications to a particular user only. Till now we have sent push notifications to all the users or all the people who have installed the app, but by setting context of user, we can send the push notifications to specific users only. So to set a push sorry to set a OneSignal's SDK to point for a user in an application, what we have to do is we have to use this particular keyword. So same window plugins OneSignal, and after that we have to use this particular method, set external user ID. So inside this external set external user ID, you have to pass Meteor user ID. So whenever someone is logging in your app, or whenever your app initializes, right, that time you have to call this method, so that your app's context is set with the user's data. So Meteor's user ID can be saved in the OneSignal's directory as well, with this particular app ID, right? So that, say for example, I am using smartphone A and you are using smartphone B, then what will happen is, for me, in OneSignal, the external ID will be set as my own ID, and for you it will be a different ID. Now when we want to send a notification only to me, right, so smartphone A, so what we can do is, so I'll show you the way we were doing this REST API call, right, to generate push notifications in earlier I have shown you. So in that one, what we have to do is, firstly we were doing include segments, right, all, so everyone was involved. But with user IDs, what you have to do is, you have to use include external user IDs instead of that segments, right? So in include external user IDs, it's an array. So inside this array you can pass the user IDs, so like user ID 1, user ID 2. So when you pass this, then this particular notification will be only sent to those users with the ID of that, not all of them. So this is how we can firstly we can set the user context in the SDK, and secondly how we can send notification to those particular user IDs. Now there is a very important thing is, like, if someone logs out from your application, or if someone is not logged in your application, then there is no user context, right? So in that case, if you ever need to remove a user context from your application, you need to use this remove external user ID. So this particular method, it expects a method, basically callback method inside it. So that callback method can be an empty function as well. So what it will do is, it will basically break the connection between your SDK, your application, and the user context that is set in OneSignal. Though once the user ID is set, that user ID, that external user ID and all, will be saved in OneSignal's directory, so that you can see what kind of push notifications they have got. But when you use this remove external user ID, what it will do is, basically it will just break the connection between your application and the user context in OneSignal. So then when someone again logs in again, then you can just set external ID again, and that particular user will be bounded to that application. So that's all, I think. Now we have learned about user connection as well. So this you can try it out in your applications with the logged in systems. So right now I have just shown you the example of how it is done. So you can do the further implementations by using your own applications. And also I wanted to just let you guys know that all these things, right, all these functions or methods or API directives, all those things are mentioned in OneSignal's SDK's documentation. So you can just search it out in Google, like OneSignal SDK documentation. Anyway, in this particular project in my GitHub, right, so I'll be sharing this project link, and in the project's readme only I'll be updating all the links, necessary SDK directory or documentation links links as well, so that from there you can get an idea what you can do with what more you can do with OneSignal's SDK. There are a lot of things that you can do, like you can send images, you can create segments, you can create channels. So those things you can check out the documentation. So right now we are running short of time, so you can check the documentation, and if ever you feel any problem in those, you can always reach out to me via my email address that I have provided, right? So that was the end of our implementation part. Now if you have any questions, please ask me. I am available in the this part, like in live chat or live call also. So if you have any kind of questions, you can ask me. So the implementation was limited to Android only because I had Android mobile myself, so I was able to showcase the Android part of it. But the iOS implementation is also very similar. It is same, only just some more configurations you need to do, which you can find easily in the OneSignal's SDK documentation. All right. So if you have any questions, you can just quickly throw. Okay, so that was it, guys. Thank you very much to this whole team of Meteor Impact 2022. Thanks to Jan, thanks to Kevin and Jessa for giving me this wonderful opportunity to host this event for this workshop, and it was a beautiful experience. Thank you again.